So I want to go over your drawing exercises. I'm going to just use my phone because I have a little bit more flexibility and they're much easier to upload than Zoom has been so far. Let's look at what your first assignments are, your first exercises are. So on Blackboard, if you haven't done these yet, make sure you do this reading. So you'll read pages 1 and 2, and they both just go over different kinds of sketching, and they reinforce the idea of your hand and the notion of handwriting being a sort of signature for you, and how your natural mark making is going to have its own way of speaking. We're going to just do free handwriting, and we're doing sort of gestural connected line drawing as well as just some scribbling. So read through that, and then you'll watch the video once it's uploaded. That's Zoom is just taking a little while to process the video, but you'll click here and you'll look at all the or actually you'll click on the video and it'll take you through the slides. During that video, you'll pause it in the middle, and I'll tell you when in the video to use these two links right here, your Cy Twombly playlist, and he's a scribbler, and the Picasso playlist, who does a lot of the continuous line drawing. Yeah, and then you'll go back to the video, and then you have the PDF of what I present in the video available for you to look at whenever you want to. Okay, and then the first exercises here, both of your first exercises will be about freeing the hand, encouraging a sort of intuitive, fluid, fast-moving line. This is just going to help you build a little bit of confidence and the kind of line that you want to work with that has doesn't have any kind of hesitancy. So you will need your pencils, and the pencils that you want to use are of varying densities or hardnesses. So you can see at the end of each pencil there's a number and a letter. It says 5H, and then I also, let me speed this up because it's pulling, and this one is an HB, so that's in the middle. So the way these pencils work is B is soft for some reason. So that means you can see how this lead is a little bit dull. Soft pencils let the graphite go really easily. All the graphite comes off super smooth, super fast. You end up with a really dense, dark line, but it eats up your pencil really quickly. So B's are darker, and the higher number B, the softer and darker it will be. There are many other numbers that you don't need for this particular exercise, but just to show you the pencils so you don't feel like you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. There's a 3B, a 4B, and a 5B, and so 5 is closest to, yeah, there we go. So the 3B is less dark than your whatever number, 8B. So my middle is going to be the HB. Now if you didn't get an HB, a 2B or a 2H is pretty much in the middle as well. And then you'll need a hard pencil. So the hard pencils essentially mean the graphite is compacted really, really tightly and doesn't come off the pencil very easily. So it takes a little bit more scribbling to get a mark to start to happen. Let me show you the number. There's the 5H, and then these are all other weights of H pencils. Let's see, 3H. 2H. 2H is probably the least hard of all the hard pencils. And then of the ones that I have, I think I go up to, the 2B. Let's see what this one is, 4H. That might be, 5H then is my hardest pencil. So whatever is the highest number H pencil you have. So you want the highest number B, one that's in the middle, and then the highest number H, okay? You're gonna do 3 different scribble drawings. Now, before you start, you wanna label each one with a date. This is the free the hand drawing. I even put the time, 10 minutes, which pencil I used. And then I like to put a couple notes about what it is I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying not to stop, and I'm trying to fill the page, but have an all over balance. We will talk more about composition and balance and having certain points of interest in certain areas of weight. But for today, you want to make sure that there's no one area that's like standing out more than any other. So you want to make sure you're filling the whole space equally. And you're going to start with your 2H pencil. Make sure you sharpen all your pencils before you get started. Now, when I am doing these, I'm not going to hold the pencil like I do for writing. Right? I'm going to hold the pencil a little bit differently. I like to hold the pencil a little ways back. That way it has a little bit more wildness to it. I can't control it as much. It sort of does whatever it wants. I don't need to work as hard to make so many weird lines. One mistake that people make is to be choked up and then try to make a line that looks loose and careless, and it's impossible. So it's better to just kind of let chance happen and just go for it. So there are a lot of different, some people, depending on what you're comfortable with, you can do what's called an underhand grip, or you can just have your pencil, whatever the opposite of choked up on it, you're gonna loosen up, and then you're just gonna scribble your face off for 10 minutes. So you'll have wanted to start your timer. And you can have a movie on or whatever. You can even use your non-dominant hand if you like. You don't have to use your right hand. If you need to, like I did some of these, not this one, but I think the next one. I don't remember what I was doing, but I definitely was using my right hand to do something on the computer while also scribbling, which is kind of insane, but you don't really have to pay that much attention. You want to check in every once in a while and make sure you're hitting all the areas as equally as you can, but it's not rocket science, you know? So again, I put at the top the date, what I'm doing. I'm doing a 10-minute scribble. I'm trying not to stop, and I want to make sure that I fill the whole space. Oh, and I did use my left hand on this one, and I made a little note of it. So now what's great is that I don't have to remember. I already wrote it down. So then if I'm using my left hand, again, I don't want to choke up on it. I want to leave it loosey-goosey and just jump in there and start. You'll be amazed at how quickly the page fills up. You can put a show on, you know, whatever you need to do to keep you seated for 10 more minutes. Okay. So you'll go over it and over it with your wild scribbles. Last but not least, you'll use your highest number B pencil. That's this one. Now I recommend having a second one out, whatever your second highest pencil is, out and ready to go. This one will go dull in about 5 minutes, and that's only halfway through your drawing. So you can either stop and sharpen your pencil and go again, or you can have a second one sharpened and ready to go so that you don't have to stop and start, you know. But if you do have to stop and start, it's not the end of the world. No one will know the difference. Okay, so again, at the top, the date, the exercise, free the hand, 10 minutes, don't stop, fill the page, and then you just go for it. And you can really get a sense of like how much easier the graphite comes off the pencil. Even with one line, you start to see how it's already like getting dull. So you just fill the page, and you can play around with how you hold it. You can move it around in your hand. Just keep it moving. There's sometimes my hand will get a little tired and kind of cramped, so you know, maybe I'll change the position. Maybe I'll slow down sometimes to sort of rest. Slowing down is fine too. You don't have to be frantic all the time. But then I find myself sort of picking up the pace, and then I'll slow down again. Okay, until all 3 pages are covered. Your next exercise, boop, 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 is right here, one line sketching. So these scribble sketches are more like the Cy Twombly that we looked at, the Cy Twombly videos. And then these are going to be a little bit more like the Picasso one line drawings. The confidence of his line is really great. So you can see in these drawings, he's not looking at an actual beagle or whatever that is. What are those little long guys? I forget what they're called. Dachshund? Or an owl or whatever it is he's drawing. Those are more like cartoonish, like he already knows what it looks like, and so he drew it from his imagination. But you guys are actually going to draw them from life. You're going to be using a medium weight pencil, so you can go back to that, no, not a 6B, like a 2B or a 4B. Oh no, 2B or maybe like an HB. Yeah, I'll just go with HB for these. It's just in the middle. Okay. As you go through, I forgot to put the date, but it's nice to put the date, and then you can also write freehand or one line drawing or something like that, so you know what, so later you think you'll remember, but you won't remember. In a year or so, or even next week, you might not remember what exercise this is. You also want to make sure to number each one. And sometimes I like to say what they are. So I can generally fit about 10 on a page. And the hardest part of these is just finding the objects to draw. Like 50 is actually kind of a lot. So you get a little bit, you have to really stretch. So this was a plant on a shelf that I was sitting below. And then we've got, oh, my wallet with the zipper open, coffee cup, ballpoint pen, headphones, tape measure, this light. I should probably do it again because it doesn't look great. And then some other wall light, Coke can, phone. Yeah, so I can usually get about 10 on a page. These shouldn't take more than like 15 seconds to do. Dogs, and you can see really good model right over there snoozing. So the dogs are there, and the cup. Oh, just so you get an idea, here's the coffee cup I drew, but that green cup is the one that I was actually drawing. So don't worry about proportion. It's fine. I kind of like it all funky like that. So don't worry too much about making it perfectly proportionate. You're more interested in that continuous line, the forward moving line, one that isn't hesitant, and one that's just sort of grabbing information as quickly as possible and just putting it on the page without too much fuss. That is a vise, shop vise, a trunk, a plant, a fan. Oh, that's one of those magazine holder things. So yeah, it looks a little weird. A couple lamps. Oh, that was an upside down power strip. Baskets on the floor, glasses, you name it. Oh, this is the clamp for this. It should be here, but I didn't draw it. Instead, I drew it over here a little bit bigger. Yep. So yeah, I'm numbering them, and sometimes, usually I'll say what they are, but sometimes not. And then here's some more shop stuff. You know, some wood glue, some Gorilla Glue. You might recognize it. This duct tape right there. Lip gloss with the top and the bottom. I think did I count those separately? No, I counted them as one. Pen, hand sanitizer, sunscreen, very pale. Clamper things that I have right there. Just so you get an idea of what kinds of objects I'm using and how true to, you know, their visual appearance I'm being, which is not very, I don't have to worry too much about being exact. So here's another page, just a bunch of scissors and level, another different bottle of glue. And then last page is a couple shoes, squirt bottle. Oh, this weird short screwdriver that I tried it twice. It still does not look great, but that's okay. Doesn't have to. So once you get to 50, every drawing that you do after that is worth an extra point or two, depending on if it's really great. I'll give you lots of extra points. So for your extra ones, though, you can use any material you want. So I like using these colorful pens. I have a whole bunch of different colors, and they're just fun, you know, to work with. So there's my subject matter, and I'm gonna just be looking at the subject matter, and I'm gonna try to keep the camera on the paper so you can see how quickly and kind of messily I'm doing it. But I'm not that good at looking at the subject matter, drawing, and then keeping the camera pointed in the right direction, but I'll do my best. it's okay to go over your lines a couple more times. And then there's like some writing on the side. Oh, I almost forgot this handle thing. Boom, good enough. You know? So you don't have to spend very long. You don't have to make them super accurate. You just want to keep your pen moving and sort of crawling all over this subject matter, you know, just moving around and noticing things. Sometimes I forget and I pick up my pen, but then once I remember, I try to keep it back down again. So when you're trying to keep your pencil down, you want to go up one shape, and then you can use where it intersects with other shapes to go up another side, and then you can come back down. And once you're down here, you can go around. So it's pretty easy to kind of go around and around the lines a few times. You could even do your shadow if you wanted. You could go down here. All right, so that's that for your free drawing. Keeping it loose and a long, loose kind of searching line. Have fun with them. The hardest part will probably be finding enough objects. Don't spend more than 15 seconds on them. They should be quick and easy and done. Okay, so now I'm gonna, oh yeah, so your next things, the next videos I'm gonna make will be for these more control drills. So those were your freeing the hand drills, and then you'll have controlling the hand drills. So you have two different kinds that we're going to do anyway. There's lots and lots of kinds actually, but we'll do these form drills and some calligraphy drills that come from the Palmer method. And I included the original Palmer method book, which is just kind of cool and old-timey, and there's some examples in there. This reading right here, Learning to See, that's supposed to be homework for this week into next week. And if you can still get it done, that's great. If not, you know, it'll still be here. You can read it as soon as you can. But do your drills first and then worry about this later after you're done with these, okay? So I'm gonna make a new video for this and that. And it'll also mention that. Okay,